Hi everybody, my name is Brian Huff and welcome to Huff Photo. I wanted to take a moment to talk about the Flashpoint Evolv 200 Pro and the 200 Standard. I just recently had my first photo shoot with these out on location. So this is not really, I guess, sort of a product review. This is more of my first impression and what I think of these as far as having them now as part of my equipment. Um, Originally, I would have been taking lithium battery packs and my studio lights with me, which was very heavy, very cumbersome. We had wires, of course, that ran from the lithium packs up to the studio strobes. And those studio strobes are not designed to be outside, so they were subjected to the elements. They held up, they did their job for many years, even though I put them through a lot of things they weren't designed for. That being said, however, going back to wanting to shoot more on location, I wanted some more versatile lighting. I had about 4 or 5 speed lights, and speed lights are great. They have their place. I really enjoy using them as putting them as backup lights or something for extra lighting if the sun's not available as a backlight. They have a lot of versatile uses, but as we all know with speed lights, we're limited in the power that they put out. These strobes I was leery of. Now they're heavier. They're quite a bit heavier than a speed light, but you can see they're not much bigger. Now this one actually has a barn door attachment and the Fresnel head. So we actually used this one with the Fresnel head, and we used the modeling light the whole time. We were out on location and shot for almost 4 hours, then came back here and shot for about an hour in studio with the same 2 lights. One was an Evolv 200 Pro, one was the Evolv 200 Standard. The 200 Standard, we actually had the bare bulb on the front of that one. And we mainly just used this little attachment here that slides in and locks. The great thing about this was it put out an amazing spread of light. I was very surprised at the quality of light. There were a few shots where I wanted like a hard edge light, so we just simply took the diffuser off and used this really cool reflector just to get all the light directly into the shot. And it worked out surprisingly well. We shot well beyond the sun going down. That being said, the cameras that I was using, the Nikon Z6 and Z5, did extraordinarily well under the circumstances as far as focusing. When we did get into some situations where we had absolutely no light, it was awesome to be able to go and turn the modeling lamp onto this one and have it as an aid in focusing and seeing where the light's going to go. It was phenomenal. It's kind of like having my studio lights with me on location, minus all the wires. Of course, I use the Godox XT2 trigger system to trigger the lights and control the power of them. That was another wonderful thing. So when I sent the light up on a 9-foot boom, or my assistant had boomed out the light over, there was a few instances where we had to boom light out over water in this shoot. I didn't have to bring that light in, walk out of the shot, go change the power manually like I did with my old studio lights. I was able to stay behind the camera, make some slight adjustments on the trigger system, and just keep shooting. That was the thing that I really enjoyed, was not having to come out of the shot to adjust lighting or move really my settings in the lighting. I could just sit there and adjust everything from the trigger. That was phenomenal. Battery life. We photographed between 7 to 720, I think it was around 720 shots total on the evening. These were fired anywhere from 128th all the way up to full 1-to-1 power. A few times I actually fired rapid fire at a 1/4 power just to see. I never had a shot these missed. That was another thing that I was extremely happy about. With the speed lights, the recycle time usually would cause issues to where, you know, you would miss a shot here and there because the speed light wasn't ready. These never missed for me. Now, there was nothing that I was shooting that was requiring me to do, you know, extreme fast shots. We were just kind of in a hurry near the end because we had lost pretty much all of our available light. So I was very impressed. They never got hot, and we were shooting around, it was about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, so it wasn't super hot out. But they were never like hot to the touch or anything when we had to load up and change locations. Everything I hoped these would be, they were. So now we're going to see over time how well they hold up under just extreme use. And another thing too that I really loved, when we got back here to the studio, I threw the lights back into the beauty dish and softbox and everything, and we just never missed a beat. We just kept shooting. That was the one thing I really loved, the speed of being able to pull these back out of the bag, set them up here in the studio, and continue to shoot was another really nice thing. It was a lot less cumbersome than have to fight with all my power cables and then radio triggers and radio trigger cables and everything that I used to use with my old studio strobes. I mean, that being said, now my studio strobes were phenomenal. They've served me well over the years, but it was time for an upgrade. And this has so far been a very welcomed upgrade. I can see where these are going to be very versatile for my shooting. I really enjoyed this one. Has the metal barn doors with the grid. I took the grid out, and of course we're using the magnetic mounted gels to change the light color in the scenes. That was awesome. I would like to have a lot more available colors in these. I'm not sure if there's a lot more. I think this came with blue, yellow, green, and red. So I really would like a more vast range of colors. That would be really cool. So I'll be looking online. If any of you guys know of anything like that where they do make these in a really vast array of colors, drop them in the comments for me. I'm always hunting down new things to affect colors and lights. I do a lot of cosplay and concept photography, so being able to control the color of light is key. Another thing that I liked the color temperature. I think these are balanced for daylight. I really liked the quality and the tonality of the light that came from these, from the bare bulb and the Fresnel. The Fresnel fires the light more concentrated, as you would expect, so it's a little brighter than the bare bulb. However, when we used the beauty dish and the Octabox here in the studio, using the bare bulb really filled out the light modifiers really well and nice and even, so we didn't have hot spots to deal with. Of course, a lot of our stuff is double diffused, so and I also like to use, you see behind me, I like using grids. I really like to have control of the light. And this, of course, was my first shoot. I've practiced with these in the studio here and there, but this was my first on-location shoot. So there was about 5 or 10 minutes where I had to get things sort of dialed in because I was not used to the power these things put out versus my speed lights that I was used to. But after I got that dialed in maybe 5 or 10 minutes, we were rolling, and it was really good. I'm pleasantly surprised. So, what's your favorite light to shoot on location with? What do you love carrying with you? Do you like these things? Do you like you know, any other brands or any other types of lights that are more powerful? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you find this interesting or you find this helpful, let me know in the comments as well. And give us a like and subscribe if you don't mind. Really appreciate it. Helps out the channel and hopefully gets this to other people that need it. One other side note, this small adapter here that screws into the light to allow you to mount it to your light pole. I had an assistant on this photo shoot, and she had a boom with the foam grips. Having this small adapter where we could quickly and easily maneuver the light on the end of the grip was really nice, and that it was small enough and light enough to fit in the bag that it came with. And that's another thing too that I liked. Having the ability to have these extra heads, because each light you buy comes with a Fresnel head and a bare bulb. So it's like having a spare bulb on set with you, which honestly back in the day, I normally wouldn't have a spare bulb for my studio, just lamps with me, because they were very tedious. You couldn't touch them. This, even though it says bare bulb, it's worth noting the bulb is encased under glass. So it does not matter. You have to actually handle it to unscrew this little thing on the side and detach the bulb from the housing. It goes in there really well. And so you don't have to worry so much about your fingerprints getting on this. You can wipe it clean, but you're not going to destroy it just from using it. That was another thing that was really tedious with my old lighting. You had to be extremely careful that no one accidentally touched the flash bulbs, because your oils from your hand would actually cause that bulb to short circuit. So yeah, it's nice to have this glass protection on the outside just to make it a lot harder to get dirt and oils on the flash bulb itself. Anyway, that being said, I like the little storage case it came with. There's a small like belt loop here on the back that actually strapped these to the side of my backpack, so I had quick and easy access to all my accessories and things. So yeah, so far so good. And of course the flash point is the same as the Godox AD200 and AD200 Pro. These were on sale, so I'm always looking for a deal, so I grabbed these to try them out. And I'm going to say so far so good. I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm very excited to see what these enable me to create in the future. And I appreciate you guys coming by to see the videos here at the channel. Hope you're enjoying them and finding them useful. And I'll see you guys on the next one.